What is Gravity Hall? Global Peace Index 2023. What is Rights Issue? Automated Multi-Commodity Grain Dispensing Machine. Bashini Platform. Farmers Distress Index. Global Survey on Digital and Sustainable Trade Facilitation. UN's Global Crisis Response Group. CH3 Plus Molecule. Bharat 6G Alliance. According to researchers from Indian Institute of Science, the Indian Ocean harbors a colossal and enigmatic phenomenon known as gravity hall, may be the remnants of an ancient sea that vanished millions of years ago. The gravity hall is a region of ocean where the effect of gravity are less than usual. It occurs at the bottom of the ocean where there are gravitational anomalies. These anomalies are caused by the variation in the gravitational pull of the Earth due to differences in the density of the materials that make up Earth's crust. The Indian Ocean is home to one of the most profound gravitational anomalies on Earth, known as the Indian Ocean Geoid Low (IOGL). It was discovered in 1948 during a ship-based gravity survey by Dutch geophysicist Felix Andries Wenning. It is found in a large section of over 3 million square meter in the Indian Ocean seafloor, located around 1200 km southwest of India's southern tip. It is estimated to have formed approximately 20 million years ago. Researchers said that IOGL comprises slabs from the Tethys Ocean, a long lost sea that plunged into the depth of the planet millions of years ago. The 2023 Global Peace Index recently released its annual ranking of the most peaceful countries in the world. It is released annually by the Institute for Economics and Peace. 2023 Global Peace Index ranked 163 independent states and territories according to their level of peacefulness. It measures the state of peace across three domains: society safety and security, ongoing domestic and international conflict, and militarization. The average level of global peacefulness deteriorated by 0.42%. Iceland is the most peaceful country in the world, a title it has held since 2008. It is accompanied at the top by Denmark, Ireland, New Zealand, and Austria. Conversely, Afghanistan is the least peaceful country in the world for the eighth consecutive year. It is followed by Yemen, Syria, South Sudan, and Democratic Republic of the Congo. India has occupied the 126th spot in the rankings, two higher than its previous position. The report stated that India experienced an improvement of 3.5% in overall peacefulness over the past year, owing to improvements in violent crime, neighboring countries' relations, and political instability. Among other countries, Nepal, China, Sri Lanka, United States of America, Pakistan have ranked 79, 80, 107, 131, and 146 respectively. Indian Oil Corporation plans to raise capital through rights issues of equity shares as part of a government's plan to infuse capital into three state-owned fuel retailers to fund their net zero carbon emission projects. A rights issue is an invitation to existing shareholders to purchase additional new shares in the company. This type of issues give existing shareholders securities called rights. With the rights, the shareholders can purchase new shares at a discount to the market price on a stated future date. The company is giving shareholders a chance to increase their exposure to the stock at a discount price. Until the date at which the new shares can be purchased, shareholders may trade the rights on the market the same way that they would trade ordinary shares. The rights issued to a shareholder have value, thus compensating current shareholders for the future dilution of their existing shares value. Dilution occurs because a right offering spreads a company's net profit over a large number of shares. Thus, the company's earnings per share or EPS decreases as the allocated earnings result in share dilution. Companies most commonly issue a right offering to raise additional capital. A company may need extra capital to meet its current financial obligations. Troubled companies typically use rights issues to pay down debt, especially when they are unable to borrow more money. A demonstration of the automated multi-commodity grain dispensing machine Annapurti was recently conducted during the National Conference of Food Ministers of States and Union Territories, organized by the Department of Food and Public Distribution. Grain ATM Annapurti is an automated multi-commodity dispensing solution that provides fast, clean, and precise access to commodities like rice, wheat, grains to beneficiaries post biometric authentication. It is developed by World Food Program India. Grain ATM ensures 24/7 access to full entitlements for people entitled to monthly subsidized grains through India's public distribution system. Annapurti has potential use for food-based safety nets, food grain distribution during emergencies, and increasing market access for smallholder farmers. Annapurti, which dispenses the type and quality of selected grain commodity to each beneficiary after biometric authentication, does away with the possibility of spillage, waste, and short weighing. Annapurti dispenses one or two grain commodities up to 50 kilograms in 5 minutes with an error rate of 0.01%. The entire solution includes the volume of storage unit, modular or easily assembled, and can put together depending on the amount of space available. To ensure food security with efficient energy access, the machine has been designed to consume only zero point 0.6 watt per hour. It can also be attached to solar panels, inverter batteries, and elevators for automatic refilling. Prime Minister recently pitched for sharing India's AI-based language platform Bhashini in SCO member countries to remove language barriers within international grouping. Digital India Bhashini is India's artificial intelligence-led language translation platform. It seeks to enable easy access to the internet and digital services in Indian languages, including voice-based access, and help the creation of content in Indian languages. It aims to make artificial intelligence and natural language processing resources available in the public domains to be used by Indian MSMEs, startups, and individual innovators. This will help developers to offer all Indians easy access to the internet and digital services in their native languages. This online platform also has a separate Bhashadan section which allows individuals to contribute to multiple crowdsourcing initiatives, and it also accessible via respective Android and iOS apps. The project is available on this website www.bhashini.gov.in, and it is aimed to build and develop an ecosystem where various Stakeholders like institutions, industry players, research groups, academia, and individuals can unite to maintain an ever evolving repository of data, training, and benchmark data sets, open models, tools, and technologies. The contribution can be done in four ways: Suno India, Lico India, Bolo India, and Deco India, where users have to type what they hear or have to validate tests transcribed by others. On 2nd July 2004, Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus Station was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO World Heritage Committee. On 5th July 1968, India's first submarine arrived from Soviet Russia. After intense training in the winter of 1967, an Indian crew traveled to Soviet Union, where the submarine was commissioned on December 8. Over the following months, the submarine took a long shakedown cruise towards India, arriving at Visakhapatnam on 5th July 1968. The Central Research Institute for Dryland Agriculture, an institution under the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, started working on a kind of an early warning system called Farmers Distress Index. The main aim behind creating such an index is to minimize the agrarian distress in the form of crop loss, failure, and income shock. The index will try to anticipate this distress and prevent its spread from a few farmers to the village or block level by pre warning different stakeholders, including central, state, local, and also non government agencies. The first step will be to look for incidents of farmers' distress, like localized cases of issues with debt repayment, death by suicide, pest attacks, drought, floods, migration, among others. Following this, contacts of marginal and small farmers or tenant farmers from the area will be collected to conduct telephonic interviews, which will have 21 standardized questions to gauge early signs of distress. The answers will be mapped against seven indicators: exposure to drought, floods, crop failure due to pest attacks, livestock deaths, capacity of farmer, and local government through different schemes, land holding and irrigation facilities, sensitivity, mitigation, and adaptation strategies like growing of contingency crops if main crop fails, triggers for immediate distress like health related expenditure, socio psychological factors, and impacts. The index will have value from 0 to 1. A value between 0 to zero point 0.5 will indicate low distress, zero point 0.5 to zero point 0.7 will indicate moderate distress, and above zero point 0.7 will indicate severe distress. If the index is severe, it will identify which component among the seven is more severe and contributes maximum to farmers' distress. The index is currently being worked out in the form of mobile or desktop application. Recently, the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia Pacific released a global survey on digital and sustainable trade facilitation. It conducted every 2 years by UNESCAP. The 2023 survey covered more than 140 economies and evaluated 60 trade facilitation measures. It has recognized India's exceptional progress across various sub-indicators, with country achieving a perfect score of 100% in four key areas: transparency, formalities, institutional agreement, and cooperation, and paperless trade. India is now the best performing country amongst all the countries of South Asia region. The overall score of India has been greater than many developed countries including Canada, France, UK, and Germany. UNESCAP is the most inclusive intergovernmental platform in the Asia Pacific region, which was established in 1947. It consists of 53 members and 9 associate members. India is also a member of this organization. It works to overcome some of the region's greatest challenges by providing results oriented projects, technical assistance, and capacity building to member states. India recently joined the Champions Group of Global Crisis Response Group. The GCRG was set up by UN Secretary General in March 2022. The 32 member group ensures high level political leadership to get ahead of the immense interconnected challenges of food security, energy, and financing and implement a coordinated global response to the ongoing crisis. It is overseen by the Champions Group comprising representatives of Bangladesh, Barbados, Denmark, Germany, Indonesia, and Senegal. The UN Deputy Secretary General leads the steering committee of GCRG. Within the group, three work streams on food, energy, and finance will collate data and generate analyses, policy recommendations, and solutions to support decision making and advocacy for consideration of the steering committee. These work streams will remain flexible and responsive to opportunities that seek to resolve immediate crises and vulnerabilities of people and countries. CH3 plus molecule has been detected in the space for the first time by the James Webb Space Telescope. Scientists found the fingerprints of CH3 plus molecule in light coming from a swirling disk of dust and gas around a young star. The disk is in Orion Nebula, 1350 light years from Earth. CH3 plus is a very simple organic molecule, just one carbon atom and three hydrogen atoms. It reacts with other molecules to form more complex ones. Its presence in space tells us that the basic building blocks for life are out there. It is an indicator of a lot of very interesting, more complex reactions. The discovery of methylcation in a region where planets that could eventually host life are forming and may help untangle this cosmic riddle and also help scientists better understand how and where in the universe life could get started. The James Webb Space Telescope was built in collaboration between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency and was launched in December 2021. It is presently at a point in space known as Sun Earth L2 Lagrange point, approximately 1.5 million kilometers beyond Earth's orbit. And this telescope will examine every phase of cosmic history, from the Big Bang to the formation of galaxies, stars, and planets to the evolution of our solar system. Swami Vivekananda was an Indian Hindu monk, philosopher, author, religious leader. He was a key figure in the introduction of Vedanta and yoga to the Western world and is credited with raising interfaith awareness and bringing Hinduism to the status of a major world religion. Born into an aristocratic Bengali Kayastha family in Calicut, Vivekananda was inclined from a young age towards religion and spirituality. He later found his guru Ramakrishna and became a monk. After the death of Ramakrishna, Vivekananda extensively toured the Indian subcontinent, acquiring first hand knowledge of the living conditions of Indian people in then British India. Moved by their plight, he resolved to help his countrymen and found a way to travel to United States, where he became a popular figure after 1893 Parliament of Religions in Chicago, in which he began his famous speech with the words Sisters and Brothers of America before introducing Hinduism to Americans. He was so impactful at the parliament that an American newspaper described him as an orator by divine right and undoubtedly the greatest figure at the parliament.